Have you ever wondered what it's like to have to leave your homeland due to war and uncertainty? Right now, as we speak, that's the harsh reality for millions of Ukrainians. The escalating conflict in their home country has left them with no choice but to seek safety and security elsewhere. But where do they turn? The United Kingdom has responded to this humanitarian crisis by introducing 3 distinct visa routes to provide refuge and support to those affected. These include the Ukraine Family Scheme, the Homes for Ukraine Scheme, and the Ukraine Extension Scheme, each designed to cater to different needs and circumstances. So let's delve into these 3 visa schemes, starting with the Ukraine Family Scheme visa. First on the list is the Ukraine Family Scheme visa. This scheme provides a lifeline for individuals wanting to join or extend their stay with family members in the UK. Now you might be wondering, who is eligible for this visa? Well, it's open to those who have family members already residing in the UK. Now let's talk about the duration of the stay. The visa is issued for 6 months initially, but don't worry, there's an option to extend your stay, provided you meet the required criteria. You might be thinking, what about the fees? The good news is the application is free of charge. Yes, you heard it right, free of charge. The UK government has waived the fees to aid those affected by the war. Now let's move on to the application process. You can apply from both inside and outside the UK. The application process involves booking an appointment at a visa application centre and providing identity documents. But how do you prove your eligibility? You'll need to provide evidence that you're eligible for the scheme. This could be proof of your relationship to a family member in the UK or evidence of your circumstances in Ukraine. After you've applied, you might be curious about what happens next. Well, once the application is approved, you must collect your visa before travelling to the UK. Lastly, what if you're already in the UK and wish to extend your stay? You can apply for an extension under the Ukraine Family Scheme visa, following similar steps to your initial application. That's the Ukraine Family Scheme visa in a nutshell. Now, let's move on to the Homes for Ukraine scheme. Next up is the Homes for Ukraine scheme, a unique sponsorship programme. This scheme is a beacon of hope, offering a safe haven in the UK to those fleeing the conflict in Ukraine. The Homes for Ukraine scheme allows individuals to be sponsored by a UK household for 6 months. It's a compassionate response, inviting Ukrainians into the heart of UK communities. But who's eligible? Essentially, this scheme is open to Ukrainian nationals and their family members. For the younger ones, those under 18, parental or legal guardian consent is a must, alongside meeting specific requirements. So how long can you stay? The Homes for Ukraine scheme grants a 6-month stay in the UK, providing a much-needed respite from the turmoil back home. And the best part? The application process is free of charge. Yes, you heard that right, no fees whatsoever. Now let's delve into the application process. It's an online process, and each individual must make a separate application. The sponsor could be an individual or even the Scottish or Welsh government. Once you apply, you're required to provide biometric data and identity documents. This involves booking an appointment at a visa application centre. But what happens after you've applied? Well, once the application is approved, you'll need to collect your visa before travelling to the UK. The biometric residence permit can be obtained once you're in the UK. As for extending your stay in the UK, you'll need to apply for an extension within 6 months of entering the UK. We know this is a lot to take in, but remember, the UK is here to offer support and refuge to those in need. This scheme is a testament to that commitment. Now that we've covered the Homes for Ukraine scheme, let's explore the Ukraine Extension scheme. Last but not least, we have the Ukraine Extension scheme. This scheme is a lifeline for those who held permission to be in the UK during specific periods or had previous permission that expired after the 1st day of January 2022. The eligibility for the Ukraine Extension scheme is specific. It applies only to those who had permission to be in the UK during certain periods or had previous permission that expired after a certain date. If you meet these conditions, you are eligible to apply. The duration of stay under this scheme is not set in stone. It provides a flexible solution, allowing individuals to extend their stay in the UK until they can safely return to Ukraine. This ensures security and peace of mind for those already in the UK when the war escalated. The best part? There's no fee to apply for the Ukraine Extension scheme. It's part of the UK's commitment to providing a safe haven for those affected by the conflict in Ukraine. The application process is straightforward. It involves booking an appointment at a visa application centre and providing identity documents. Once the application is approved, you're good to go. However, remember to collect your visa before travelling to the UK. With that, we've covered all 3 visa schemes. But what happens after you've arrived in the UK? It's important to know what steps to take after you've arrived in the UK. Congratulations on making it to the United Kingdom. Now, what's next? Your journey doesn't stop with your arrival. There are several important steps to take, depending on the visa scheme you've applied to and whether you attended a visa application centre. If you applied to the Ukraine Family Scheme or Homes for Ukraine scheme and did not attend an in-person visa application centre, you should have received a permission to travel letter. This letter is your ticket, granting you permission to enter the UK. If you applied to the Ukraine Family Scheme or Homes for Ukraine scheme from outside of the UK and attended a visa application centre, your next step will involve your biometric residence permit, also known as the BRP. This is a crucial document that you will need to collect. It's not just a piece of paper, it's your proof of immigration status in the UK. Speaking of the BRP, it's essential to know how to use it to evidence your immigration status. You'll need to carry this permit when travelling internationally. It's your golden ticket, so to speak, verifying your right to be in the UK. Now, if you applied to the Ukraine Family Scheme or Homes for Ukraine scheme and provided your biometrics via the UK Immigration ID Check app, you're already one step ahead. The app helps streamline the process, making it easier for you to settle in. If you applied to the Ukraine Family Scheme through a Crown dependency or the Isle of Man's Homes for Ukraine scheme, you'll need to follow the specific instructions provided to you. Remember, each scheme has its unique process and requirements. Lastly, if you were in the UK before March 18, 2022, for example as a worker or student, and want to extend your stay, there are options available. The key is to stay informed and understand the process, and that completes your journey from applying for a visa to settling in the UK. To recap, we've walked through the 3 visa schemes set up by the UK government in response to the crisis in Ukraine. The Ukraine Family Scheme visa, the Homes for Ukraine scheme, and the Ukraine Extension scheme each offer different opportunities for Ukrainians seeking refuge in the UK. These schemes are designed to provide safety and security for those affected by the ongoing conflict. The Ukraine Family Scheme visa allows applicants to join or extend their stay with family members already residing in the UK. The Homes for Ukraine scheme, on the other hand, offers individuals the chance to be sponsored by a UK household for a period of 6 months, providing a safe haven during these turbulent times. Lastly, the Ukraine Extension scheme is available for those who had permission to be in the UK during specific periods or had previous permission that expired after the 1st of January 2022. Upon arriving in the UK, individuals should take steps to confirm their immigration status and access benefits and services. This includes applying to extend their stay within 6 months of entering the UK, collecting a biometric residence permit, and making use of the online checking services for work or rent. Remember, as Winston Churchill once said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So, stay strong and believe in the journey you've embarked on. Don't forget to subscribe to the Around Money and Emigration channel for more valuable insights. Stay safe, stay hopeful, and keep moving forward.